And just like that, it's time for our 2021 yearly roundup, the very, very last one of the year. Now, dear listeners, on this final day of 2021, I thought we'd do a different kind of roundup, a roundup of the lessons learned from the year, what we're leaving behind, and what we're bringing forward into the new year. First, let me thank Kelly Hayes, who was one of our first guests on this show, for this absolutely wonderful exercise. Now, it's no secret, y'all, that 2021 was a complete roller coaster. And I don't say this to be cliche. This year, dear ones, I did all the things that scared me. I left a 17-year relationship that was the most meaningful of my life in order to follow my heart. I led an organization during some of the most bizarre political moments in my lifetime, and we're still here. I bought a house. I built new relationships with some amazing women and a few good men. I took some beautiful trips and I watched sunrises and sunsets. I navigated 5 staff transitions, a 6-month parental leave, and expanded my team to 15 people in an organization that I started that began with a team of 2. I had a lot of courageous conversations with other people and myself. I moved away from the safety of what I've always known. I got my heart broken. Basically this year, personally and politically, life and everything I thought I knew about it came crashing down. And now, standing in the rubble, there are some things I'm leaving in 2021. I'm leaving being scared in 2021. Now, in 2020, as a new wave of protests swept the country, I started getting death threats again. In 2021, I could see a future that was different than the one I was walking into, and it was completely terrifying. In 2021, white nationalists tried to overthrow the government. Democrats tried to proceed as if it was business as usual. Black folks and our priorities got left behind, and I had no fucking clue how to navigate it. In 2021, everything scared me. I've seen firsthand how fear can immobilize you. It can freeze you in place, leaving you in a catatonic state. It can shape your behavior. It can keep you far away from the things and the people that you love. It can change your sense of what you deserve and what you're worth. I think about all the times in my life that I've let opportunities, experiences, and blessings pass me by because I was scared. In 2021, I challenged myself to do shit that scared me, and every time it was totally worth it. So I'm leaving behind being scared. I refuse to be a prisoner of my fears. And I apologize to myself for all the times I said no to what I needed and wanted to grow. Change takes courage. Forward motion requires a step forward. And so here's what I want to bring with me into 2022: patience and surrender. Now, this might sound counterintuitive for a lot of us, and trust me, it's counterintuitive to me too. But I've been sitting with this for a while, and honestly, it's my greatest struggle: patience and surrender. If this year I said yes to everything that scared me, I think I also became addicted to adrenaline or something. That lurching feeling when you're free-falling and you're not sure when it's going to end, kind of like when you first go off the cliff on a roller coaster. 2021 was a fucking roller coaster, and I realized that the side effect of saying yes is that you get addicted to things lurching forward at warp speed. But here's the thing. Sometimes change happens quickly, and sometimes it's as slow as molasses. Both are necessary for progress to occur. Now, I have a friend that we secretly call the turtle. Everything takes forever with them, especially decisions. I mean, they will mull over everything for 1,000 years before they take a step. And then the next step is going to take 1,000 years too, so you get the point. Now, me, I'm not really like that. Once I've made up my mind about something, I'm driving it forward. And in my various roles, I have to make 1 million decisions every single day, and I don't always get to take 1,000 years, or shit, even 1,000 seconds to think about it. Now, I'm not hasty. I can just be more like a bull in a china shop. I'm skilled at inspiring people to take action, which means I gotta be ready to move too, and it often means I'm 700 steps ahead. But recently, I've been thinking about the ways in which being a bull in a china shop can sometimes make things move much slower, because crashing through the porcelain means you got to clean things up along the way. Now, when I'm patient, knots tend to untangle themselves. Go slow to go fast, as my bestie Marisa Franco, also a past guest on this show, is known to say, and she's definitely known to say it to me. This time I'm going to listen. I'm going slow in order to go fast in 2022. Now, a note on surrender. At first glance, surrender sounds like give up. But actually, surrender can also mean let things unfold. I am the queen of let me go ahead and make this thing happen. I read recently on a blog that one difference between surrender and giving up is this. Surrender looks like taking action steps when appropriate, while giving up looks like shifting all your energies somewhere else. Now, I really liked this when I read it. Surrender here means getting out of your own way. Giving up is closing up shop, boarding up the windows, and wrapping a heavy chain around the building. This year, there were a lot of things that happened in my life that only happened because I had to get out of my own way and surrender. For example, I was holding on tight to this notion that even though I knew I wasn't happy in my relationship and neither was my partner, that's just kind of the way it had to be. But when I surrendered to how I was actually feeling, it created all this room for new possibility. We're still very much in each other's lives. We are the best of friends. And this is actually the relationship that I want with my ex. We didn't give up on us. We surrendered to the possibility that there was something else out there for us. And it's been one of the most meaningful relationships in my life. Brought to you, of course, by surrender. In 2022, I want to surrender more. To be okay with being unsure, not clear, vulnerable, and to have intimacy without a determined destination. Sometimes the clarity arrives not through hours and hours of tossing it around in your head or processing the shit, but by surrendering to the, I don't know, I'm not sure, and let's just see how it unfolds and take action steps when appropriate. Sometimes this means surrendering to your longings and your desires. Sometimes it means surrender to things not turning out exactly as you planned and allowing the unfolding to show you something you hadn't anticipated that then gives you new news that you can use. I am bringing surrender into 2022.